Hey, yeah, okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. No game, okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Stay packing, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel got a bird's eye view, hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull off. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, A floor, come down.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL.
From the host to Super Bowl 50 back in February of 2016. There's a look at the home of the 49ers, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the San Francisco 49ers. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
An absolute prototype for what you draw up as a big, strong quarterback.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch cause you want it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. But I bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When the not saving. You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause. Ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out for this. I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist,
I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks very much. Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious US Bank Stadium. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I can give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me. Baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Hat on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings.
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's got some space here. There he goes, right side. A big play there out of Cook. 56 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
They'll run for it with Cook. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position.
And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. 2 yards on the touchdown there as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Now Roethlisberger dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Big yardage there. On the scramble, it gets him a 1st down. Big Ben, not the most agile quarterback in NFL history, but he can use those legs when he needs to.
He really can, and I think it starts with him taking contact and shedding people trying to get him on the ground. That's when he becomes the most elusive.
Yeah, something he honed back at the University of Miami in Ohio.
Yeah, and they didn't get him down in the MAC. It's hard to get him down in the NFL.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Forced out to his left. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have back on their heels.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. First down, here's the run with Cook. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Up there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Play action now. Cousins. And his throw here's incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell, and it's 3rd and short. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. And shutting him off, now open field. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. A give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A huge loss on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays had gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Steeler offense, they had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Being chased out left. Able to hit his tight end, Grimble. It's a pickup of 5. Brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there.
And it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And this one will be brought.
He looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. 2nd quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it 2nd down and 11. On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. And this one to Treadwell, complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A well-executed 22-yard gain. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And Rudolph has got it. For a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There This game is over.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Next drive coming up for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not sure what was going on this past season in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, but you think about the Eagles and these Steelers and the injury bug that bit both of them, it's really hard to fathom. If it's germane to the Steelers, though, the dreadful start really began with the injury to Ben Roethlisberger, lost for the year after 2 weeks, and things, although they obviously picked things up later in the year, Charles, started to go south right there.
I think their head coach, Mike Tomlin, not going to win head coach of the year, but to me deserves great consideration because 1-4 start, then they won 8 out of 10, and no Ben Roethlisberger at quarterback. In fact, they went through, as we would count it, essentially 4 quarterbacks this year when you count Joshua Dobbs in the preseason before he was traded to Jacksonville. You end up with an undrafted rookie, Devlin Hodges out of Sanford, the Duck guy, Duck Dynasty himself. But this team, 30th in total offense. They've got a lot of work to do next year, but they get Roethlisberger back, get a healthy James Conner back, they'll be right back in the hunt for the AFC North title.
So even though Pittsburgh's had a lot of great playoff years under Mike Tomlin, you think maybe this was his most impressive coaching job?
To me, this team could have collapsed and just gone totally south with the 1-4 start and all the injuries that we were noting. They didn't do that. They continued to press and were actually in the hunt, in the thick of the playoff race until a loss to Buffalo at home. I believe it was on a Sunday or a Monday night, and that pretty much knocked them out.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick six, and then the two-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Steps away to his left. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s, so a little bit lower scoring than we expected. But a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, and held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. And somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. They didn't see that coming at all. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Play fake to Conner. Now Roethlisberger rolling to his right. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Vance McDonald, 34 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Throwing is Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Cousins in the offense is going to stay out there. They're going to try on fourth down. Cousins to throw it. He sets to fire. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. On fourth down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, fourth down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yard before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. Roethlisberger now 9 of 17 through the air. Not a great percentage, but it is 1st and 10. Roethlisberger will throw. Finds his running back, James Conner. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there in a first down. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will not bring it out. He'll just go down to a knee here for a touchback. And the ball will come out to the 25. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game.
Then how about this, a fake? And this is it.